I pay towards a partnership. Whether it's investing or not, Lyndon, is part of the financial outgoings. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, your money is doing something. It's going somewhere. It's not just staying in your hands. It's going somewhere. That's what I mean by that. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is, listen. The reality is, right? Most of you, average earners. I've said this before, and I'll say it again for you. Most of you are average earners. You're gonna find a what? An average man. And by the words of by Ebony K, mediocrity. You're gonna date men who got C's and D's. Okay, some of you are gonna say, no, it's not my life. Whatever. Ask your man. He's probably got a C and a D. It doesn't mean nothing to me. I don't think he's mediocre. I think he's amazing. But the reality is, most of us are going to have combined incomes. And we don't question about whether it's 50-50 or 60-60 or 70-70 or 100-100. Most of you are not having this conversation. You're saying, what needs to be done? We can bring the conversation away from Gabrielle Union for a little bit now, right? Because we all know we're going to have our opinion on that, right? But the reality is, right, we are average. Okay, we're average people with average salaries. And the majority of you are going to be supplying with your partner. Okay? A majority of you. Some of you are going to tell, I get it. Some of you are going to have a man that's going to have the ability to pay all your bills. The most of you are not. And this is the reality we have to come to. And it's not just a black thing, it's in white households, in Asian households. There are other households too who make it work by having partnered income. Now, you don't ask whether it's 50-50. You don't ask whether you can you work on whatever percentage you get. If you earn the same amount of money, right? You earn the same amount of money. No one's asking, you what is it 50-50? Now, I may get the mortgage. Maybe you'll get the this and that and that and that, whatever it is, but you're gonna fill in. You're gonna fill in, you know? You know what I mean? But I think sometimes we live in this illusion of a world of fantasy, and it's like, no, but you're an average day person. Me and too, I'm an average day person. Most of us are gonna need two people's income to make it work, you know? Yeah. Natasha, at this rate, water, gas, and electric is becoming astronomically high. At this rate, hey, your rent and your water and your electric is gonna be mad. Ask people in the UK, I will tell you. Of course, they're not the same. But your people's water and electric, let me say specifically, electric and gas has gone up so high. Your rent is almost, some people's rent is now almost getting to the point where your electric and gas is getting so close to it. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily going to be literally 50-50. Okay? It's not literally going to be 50-50. But someone might say, well, we do 50-50 because what it means is, hey, I pay this, you pay that, blah, blah. And it's just like we pay this and pay that. Right? Now, this conversation doesn't even happen if we just put our money into a pot. It's our money, right? See, we're getting stressed about is a man going to pay more? The reality is, you should be putting your money into a pot, which is our money, right? Our money, which means if it's our money, it's not 50-50. It's whatever the combined income is to make it work, pay off what we need to pay off, and live our life. You know? Right? And live our life. This whole it's a roommates thing. It's like whether you pay 50-50 of the rent does not make you a roommate. But guess what? Okay, let's say he pays all the rent and you pay everything else. That doesn't make you a roommate. You know? Yeah. We're average. Most of us. Okay? It's the imagery. It's the idea. It's the fantasy. It's like it's our little hope of a boast. I feel like that's what it sounds like. It's like that's that little. Well, my man pays the mortgage. You know, I pay the little stuff beside it. It's like, okay, I hear you. Okay. So I'm just saying, you know, That's the only thing I would personally say. Um, I hear you, Kaya. I hear you. Listen, we're not saying it's easy, and we're not saying it's simple. The reality is, when we live, God damn, girl, your picture, the melanin on you, baby, Kaya. Okay, you know what? I might go 100% on this. You know what I mean, Kaya? Because you know, the melanin is popping right now. You know, what's the bills I need to pay? Just let me know what bills I got to pay, Kaya. You know what I'm saying? But no, in reality, in reality, I hear what you're saying, right? I hear what you're saying, and this is real. I hear what you're saying, but the reality is this. Then we're gonna start having a real conversation about how then who's breaking up these relationships then? Because if it's making the pum pum dry, who's what else is becoming dry? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, what else is becoming stale in this relationship? Right? It's not coming from my end, right? The staleness is not coming from my end. Then, as a man, it's coming from your end, right? Because you're not living the life that you want to be able to live. The reality is most of us are not going to have the perfect life. We're going to have to live average lives, right? So, of course, yes, okay, maybe not 50-50, all right? So maybe not the terminology 50-50. It's a partnership. And hopefully, you know, due to some of my, someone said, get out of this convo until I get into a real relationship. Why would you say that? What would make you say that I need to get into a real relationship to be able to understand that point of view? You know what I mean? How would I need to get into a relationship? We're dealing with average people who there are some blessings in our community where men are able to pay all the bills. Okay, there are some real people in this world who have, by the grace of God, have the financial capacity to pay all the bills. Okay, all right. But I'm saying that the reality is of most people's life is that they're not going to be able to do that. There are men that are exceptional. You're asking for every man to be a king when he's not. If everybody's a king, who is the pauper and who is and who is those who are followers? I'm saying to you that not every man is a king. And so what I'm saying is some people's lives, unfortunately, by not marrying a king, you will have to put in a bit more effort than the next lady beside you. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Right. So I'm not saying that it's gonna be everybody. You know, you don't know what type of woman you'll meet or decide to love. But I don't get that how that makes sense. It's not dependent on what woman I meet, it's dependent on the kind of person I am. You know what I'm saying to you, right? If I have more, I want to give more. That's just my character. If I have more, I want to be able to give more. All right. If I have more, I want to be able to give more. I'm not saying that we have to split everything 50-50 per se. What I'm saying is that if I have more, I want to give more. But the reality is, if someone to pay all the bills, they have to have the ability to do so first and foremost. And if that is not what they